So here we go, more snowdrops coming through. Little tiny little snowdrop buddies there coming through. And if I go into this bit of woods, I maybe should just call this lockdown 3.0 the snowdrops. Thinking with this new lockdown, as I'm walking, should I consider having some targets? Well, obviously trying to shift some weight would be good, but I think the other one would be to not get wrapped up in lockdown spending. I think it's terribly easy, you know, we all think let's go and buy something new, it would help. And I've had a lot of nice new techie things lately, so I think I'm definitely going to try and maybe sew my stash a little bit more. Who fancies a bit of sewing their stash along with me? No more buying of new fabric, says she, who's got some new fabric at home waiting for her. Actually, it is my wadding and a little bit of sewing-y type fabric, sewing inspired fabric for bunting for the sewing room, which I thought we could make during lockdown. But seriously, I think sewing my stash would be a good aim. I'm walking along and thinking about my sewing for 2021. It's actually, I'm going to stop because it's getting dusk, and I'll carry on this chat when I get back. It's getting dusk and I want the dogs to have a really nice run in the woods, so I'm going to stop chatting to you and see if any dogs come back. Oh, I can see them. They're behind me. They're in this little copsey bit there. So I'll catch you in a few minutes. It's definitely getting, the lighter evenings are coming, which is great. That's looking up towards the school. It's a beautiful evening, absolutely stunning evening. Lovely evening to be out. Here they come. Oh no, they're going to go straight into the water. Here's Maggie. She's not going to go straight. Hello, darling. Have you found a snowdrop down there that's coming through? Sometimes we get them there. There's Poppy. Beautiful, aren't you? You having a nice time? Off they go. I'm walking around saying I was going to catch up with you when I get home. I'm walking on some very icy ground at the moment. Oh, I've got a wet dog. I am thinking, you know, a sewing challenge for lockdown. Coronavirus sewing challenge all around the world. There must be one. And what I think we should do is we should all try and make something from our stash. That's not a prize, it's not a competition. Wouldn't it be good fun if we just sewed our stash? I know that there's lots of lovely sewing businesses there that we've all bought fabric from, and we might buy something this month and then next month say, we're going to make something from our stash and use the fabric we bought in January and February. It doesn't matter, but let's try and make something from our stash. Something we've wanted to make for a long time. I'm going to think of hashtags. You never know, I might be back in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes with a suggestion. Hello there, I'm back from the walk, had my dinner, been to Slimming World on Zoom, and now I'm playing around with lighting. Now, I've had a major revelation with the ring light. I've discovered it goes up and it goes brighter and darker. So this is experimental videoing. Bear with me. But I have got here my parcel, and this is the batting for the quilt. I just thought, you know, I was waffling on earlier, as you've seen me waffling on about let's sew our stash. I wondered about making a bit of bunting for the kitchen, and this I saw and I thought, oh, I really like that. And then I saw these, look at this. What about that for bunting in a sewing room? It's brilliant, isn't it? And I've got 3 different ones. 3 different sewing ones. That was the dressmaking one. This is the haberdashery one. This is the quilting one. Seeing as I'm doing a bit more quilting. And of course I needed backing fabric. I think that was because I might have wanted a mask out of it. Blue binding for the bunting. And this is, and it's a long time since I've bought any kind of wadding, this is 4-ounce cotton wadding or cotton batting, and it's 90 inches wide, which means it's more than wide enough to do my quilt with. Now, I am going to take a little bit off the width, because I know the width is it's 90 wide, and I just want a little bit from the width. I've got the right length, but it is very much wider than it needs to be. I am so excited at the thought of doing a little bit of quilting. I am going to have a play. And I don't know how many of you feel exactly the same as this. You get something and that's it, right? I've got to play, and I'm not prepared to wait. I'm not going to wait until I've actually sorted it out and measured everything and got it perfect. No, I can't be bothered to do that. I'm just going to get on and do it. I can do it with this particular project because I do know that I have more than enough wadding. I've gone for a thinner wadding because I wanted to make things easier for myself. I've had some fantastic comments again from you lovely people over the past 24 hours. Really supportive in how I'm going to proceed with this. What I'm going to start with is I'm actually going to do the very first partridge in a pear tree. I'm going to do that. I'm going to quilt it up using a little bit of this grey that's left and just see how it works. Lots of you have told me not to over quilt it, to do it freehand, to do it with the BSR, so I've got quite a few blocks like this. So maybe I will produce a little sampler of different types of quilting, and the vermicelli quilting. Everybody's got different names for all these things. I call it one thing, you guys will call it something else. So what I thought I'd do this evening is to take you along with me on a little journey of a little bit of freehand quilting using the BSR, because the only way I'm going to work out how to do this is to play. And I'm going to pin it. I know I should tack it, but I am being impatient. I'm going to tack it. I know I need to start from the middle and work outwards. Hello everybody, Adventures with the Bernina BSR. This is very much an experiment. I've got the work. I've got the manual, which I read during Slimming World. I read the manual during Slimming World. Now, my BSR is over here in the case. I'm pretty certain. Let's see what it asks me to do when I pop it on. So I do know this is the Bernina BSR. It's a little tiny gizmo. It fits on the machine like so, and then at the back there is a little hole, and I'm going to have to come round to the back of the machine to see where it is. Right, I've checked the back of my machine and it is just here. And all being well, yes, my machine front sheet here has changed. And this is what I can now see. Let me just move you up. So the minute you put your Bernina BSR in, everything does change. And the idea is that the machine will regulate the stitch as you go through it. And I think it is now a question of putting the work in, pressing the foot and going. Wish me luck. This is experimenting. This is me taking you on the journey of me learning to use the BSR in the sewing machine. I've just got any other thread in, and here goes. Well, it's not too bad. I'm going to take the speed down and now, I know I have just gone wrong because I've gone round in a circle and I didn't want to do that. But from a distance, the effect looks really quite good. Let's just keep going and see what happens. I didn't want... Somebody put on don't overdo it, and I can actually see what they were saying. Now, on the next side, is this side down here, I'm going to try and go in a little bit here towards the partridge in a pear tree. I'm just going to move this in here. When I actually do the quilting thing, I'm going to do it, I'm going to tack it in place. I'm really enjoying this bit of it. This is fun. Let's have another go. So I've actually gone in quite, I've gone in. I think what I'll do is I'll keep saying and then I'll reflect on it in a minute when I finish the sewing. I'm going to try and pick it up here where I was. I'm now going to be really clever, try and be ridiculously clever. And I'm going to try and go in a bit further here. Now folks, now everybody, let's have a look and see how well I did using my BSR. Now this is the first time I've actually tried to use it properly. From a distance, it looks okay. There's a little bit here where it's gone a bit puckered, which is probably why I need to tack it. And I would start here with the tacking, go out that way, 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 and that way. And then I would tack around here and around. I will do a lot of tacking. So here goes, let's have a little look. I think from a distance, let me zoom it in a little bit. I'm really pleased with that. Really, really pleased. I did mention yesterday on the vlog that I'm a big reflector. And I do sort of look at my work and think, what can I do to improve it? Where did I go wrong? Why did I do that? Why did that work out like such and such? Apparently, according to one of my university tutors, I'm a natural reflector, and it's a good thing. So now if you hear me criticise my work, it's only because I'm reflecting. And now I've got this YouTube channel, I'm reflecting out loud. It's not there's no right or wrong in reflecting. I'm not saying that you need to do it or you shouldn't do it. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. You might reflect in a different way, but you probably do reflect, but in your own way. Now, let's have a little look. Just before I carry on with that, I'm going to tell you a little story about reflecting. When I got married and started cooking more, David and I used to think about the meals. And every time I cook a meal or cook something new, I even to this day say to my children, so then, what shall we do? What should we do to make it better next time? Let's give it a rating out of 10. And the first time that both Michael and Rachel came across us doing that, they were like, is she for real? Yes, I am for real, folks. I do. Because there have been things that I've cooked and no way would I ever cook them again. The worst person to cook for is my father-in-law because everything is delicious. He just appreciates the food. So let me have a look here. Blowing it in, let's do it around there. Do you know, actually, it is a little bit here. There's some sharp corners like that one there. And that one, oh look, you can see my arthritic finger there. The sharp corner there and a sharp corner here. There's another one there. And I think the more I do it, the better. These are the first ones I did, which weren't quite so intense. But where I went back in and went round the object, I'm really pleased with the way that went. So my gut feeling from here is, as the whole quilt has been experimental, we should go for it, but perhaps with not quite as much quilting on it. But I really have to say, I'm really happy with that. I don't know if any of you ladies or gentlemen that have watched my channel have tried a BSR. If you have, any tips would be really appreciated, because this is new. I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to upload what I've done today and then maybe film a little bit more in a minute. I had a lovely time this evening with my BSR and reflecting on what I've done. I'm really enjoying practicing on that quilting, and I think I'm going to try maybe doing some freehand quilting just using the embroidery foot for the machine. In the instruction manual it suggested that I could do that as an option as well, and maybe taking one of the other blocks and maybe not doing as much quilting and seeing what that looks like, and then putting them all side by side. I do think that I will quilt in the ditch around the box, the blocks and the bars, but I don't think I'll put anything around those central bits where the red work is. I'm actually just recording this last little exit bit tonight on my telephone because the MacBook is still uploading the stuff from my memory stick. I had a few issues with the AirDrop earlier. I had to sort of close everything down and then open everything up again. But as I said to you all, it's all about me learning how to use the technology to the best of my ability. Anyway, I'm going to say good night for tonight. And I'm really sorry, before I do, I'm really sorry that there was no true introduction today. I forgot to press record. Oh dear, typical. And then I'm really sorry that vlog 12, the last one of the 12 days of Christmas, took forever to come up. That was simply because there was obviously some kind of technological glitch with our internet. So when this one will go up, I really don't know. But I'm going to get set to and get it going as quickly as I possibly can. Okay, it's lovely to see you, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for day 3. Bye.